Huh?
Oh, I just needed to put more low end on mine.
Oh, you got notes?
Oh. On the flat Earth?
Yeah.
All right, so son of a bitch. So first off, on the flat Earth.
Just getting right into it.
Well, I mean, I don't have the intro. Do you got an intro going on?
Or I don't think about how many stories since the last time I saw you.
Well,
joined a new gym.
Joined a gym?
I pretty much got taken for a ride a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went in with the intention of doing the basic package membership, just weights and locker room, and the $10 startup fee. So it's a $10 startup fee with $15 a month. It's a nice gym. It'll be worth it.
So just weights. You don't get to use the fucking machines.
No, you don't need, just workout and locker room. This is a big gym with classes and a pool and a sauna.
Oh, okay.
And a cinema cardio room.
Jesus.
And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm.
So I went in with that, and I came in and I sat down, and he said, "Cool, that deal where it's $10 to start, the basic is no longer available. It was when we first reached you, which was about 2 months ago when I did the tour. It's now $100 for the normal to start." And I was just like, "Oh, yeah, we do have a deal going on now though. $5 for the premium." For $24 a month, and free for the premium plus for $30 a month.
What is all these what is it? All these tiers of shit?
Yeah.
So
it means I have access to some things but not others.
So originally they told you it's not $10 anymore. Then it's
this is a new gym.
Then it's $100
because that was the original price. This is a special.
$100 still with 10 or 15 a month, whatever that was.
$100 to start and 15 a month. Yes.
And now they're telling you, fuck it, 25
well, they're
to
saying
start.
that the deal's done. Deals don't.
Well,
last
no,
forever.
yeah, that's when they open.
Speaking of deals, happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday to you. Did you Black Friday shop?
I didn't black anything.
No.
I
thought about going last night.
You bought a PS4, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, part of me, I just like to see not YouTube, Walmart havoc.
Oh.
But I like to see the panic shoppers.
I wanted to take Con Air there. We
Ooh,
wanted to go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's now it's in Ireland, but it's just a gimmick for sales.
But you guys have manners. Right? I mean, you're not going to say, "Oh, this is the last one. You have it," but you're not going to trample everybody, right?
But I've never seen it. I remember when I went to Target Black Afternoon, and
Black Afternoon is completely different. I went right now, and there's still lines.
But I remember I went to Target Black Afternoon thinking that there'd be nothing there because I actually needed to get some. I forgot. It must have been last year, and the person was like, "Oh, it wasn't busy at all. We were all here, all ready to go." And
that's it. Carrying it later into the day, now they're getting more stock. I remember my first or second Black Friday with Target.
From your terms?
From my terms. Actually, my first term, because I was terminated, then went through a second term.
And then I'll be back. Yeah,
I'll be back. I was.
Judgment Day.
I actually tried for about a year or two to get back. I apologized to the lady that I offended, and all this shit. And nobody brought me back. But as soon as she was out,
later episode on that,
I got a handful of phone calls saying, "Hey,
theories.
Rob, so and so's fucking gone. Come back in. We'll get you in."
We need you back in.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna sink or swim without me.
Discharged from Target.
I got dishonorably discharged. Yes.
And then they pulled you back in.
And then as soon as the manager left, they brought me in.
Then
she got pissed. She found out that I was coming back. Her last day, they found out I was coming back. Or she did, and then she was like, "Nope, he can't come back. There's no way. I don't want him back." And it's like, "Well, it's not your store anymore." And she's like, "Does it matter? Called this person, called that person." They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember him. He's coming back. Cool."
But yeah.
But I got back in. So, anyways, when one of my first Black Fridays, fucking 10 o'clock at night, already a huge line. One of the TVs is on sale.
10 o'clock at night on the Thursday.
Yeah, everybody's lining up.
Day.
Yeah, everybody's lining up because they want to be the first in the door, and we know our stock is 10 TVs.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is the smallest Target in the San Diego area.
Yeah.
But we've got 10 of these TVs that are supposed to be whatever. They're $500 off. I don't know how much, but let's just say
500. I didn't know things were that bad.
Well, okay, it's not that bad, but it's a big discount.
Yeah.
And everybody wants these TVs, but we only got 10 of them. Well, the line's already 100 people strong.
What was your job?
My job?
Yeah.
All of our jobs is to just stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have cashiers, you have electronics people, all this shit, but some people, the job is to just tell people where to go, make sure nobody stabs anybody or whatever, and just make people happy. Do the team member experience, whatever the fuck that is.
Okay.
But, yeah, so there's 100 people in line. All of them are saying, we're going to get the TV. We told them there's only 10, which riles them up, and now they want to kick things over. But they wait. We pass out little things.
Tell them?
Well, you tell them in hope, like, look at the logistics of it. You're the 90th person in line. We have 10 of them. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Because even if you mad dash, there's 89 people in front of you who probably want the same damn thing. And if they know there's only 10, they're all going for it. So, but you have all these shits, and it doesn't go over that bad. You watch YouTube and you see people fucking dying.
That's like an extreme.
Yeah, like I think it was in Brazil or something.
The Black Friday in Brazil?
Yeah, fucking people rioted. I think there was fires and shit.
So Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving, and it is in bunny years the first day of shopping for the holidays.
Yeah,
correct?
the official and unofficial.
So it's called Black Friday because Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, and I'm saying this because as an Irishman, we don't have Thanksgiving because it's an American holiday.
Oh shit! You guys just adapted it.
Exactly. So why do we have Black Friday? That's what I mean. Like, why do people
everybody covers it? I think there's a technical, there's a reason for it. There's a technical reason why it's called Black Friday. I've heard it plenty of times.
But you just can't
no fucking clue. Did not retain any of it.
It's one of those things where we have a thing called in Ireland we have a Bank Holiday Mondays, which is
what Bank Holiday Monday?
Bank Holiday Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Monday where the banks are closed, and because of that, all the banks are closed, schools are closed.
The fuck?
Majority of stores, except for like
gas stations or something.
Yeah. Like it's basically like Veterans Day in a way that everyone has the day off. Now, don't ask me why, because banks are closed. I don't have school. I never questioned it. I have a day off school.
Right.
I love Bank Holiday Mondays.
Right.
I had the day off work as well.
Oh.
Okay, I worked in a hotel. We didn't get Bank Holiday Mondays off then, but...
Well, yeah, you can't just tell everybody in the hotel to go home.
When I worked in a factory, we weren't open.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a factory. If it's a hotel, it's different. But I never questioned why it was called Bank Holiday Monday, probably until I moved to the States and realized I don't have them anymore.
Would it just be like one of those like worker appreciation days taken to the max?
It was probably a bank appreciation day. Appreciate your bank.
Like Secretary's Day, but intense?
Yeah. Anyway, back to my gym. So there was the Premium and the Premium Plus. And with the Premium, I got everything. But with the Premium Plus, I got everything. Plus, I could bring someone with me for free every time.
They couldn't go on their own. They have to be with you.
Yes. I got to check them in with me.
Oh.
So that's not bad.
Yeah,
I guess I could
bad.
do that for a while. And then with that, I got, because it's right beside a nutrition store. With that, I got 50% off my first sale in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I took advantage of that. So
of course.
I came home and I saw my girlfriend and she was like, "Oh, how's the gym?" I was like, "It's good. I'm now a Premium Plus membership," and I bought. Do you know those big things of a protein?
Like the gallon of protein?
Yeah. Imagine it bigger. I got the biggest one there because I was talking to the guy, this like beef head, for about 20 minutes on the best one. And
right.
He's like, oh, I use that one, but we only have one left of the chocolate flavor. We got the blue raspberry. I was like, I don't want blue.
I don't know. That's a fun thing though.
Yeah, but if you do take protein, you're taking it every time you work out, and then
You don't want blue raspberry? Chocolate
you'll get
kind of
sick of it quick. Chocolate doesn't, it's chocolate. It doesn't fade.
I'm not a chocolate person.
Oh, I'm a chocolate person.
Mm.
So I bought like do you know there's so the 1 gallon, it's at least 2 gallons. It's like this, it's bigger than my head. And my girlfriend just looked at me and was like, man, you got like I went in with the intention of paying $25 to start and join, and I must have spent 30. I must have spent at least 50. So I doubled, and I was like, yeah, I got taken for a little ride, but hey, I can use the cardio cinema,
right?
And I can do all this stuff that I've used since, and nobody has checked me to see if I'm a super member or not. So I'm
they're not going to patrol
pissed
you.
off, but it's just been a week, so I might jump down quick.
I've noticed with the protein powders and all that, like the jug, or you got to call it a jug, I guess.
Sure.
But they look beefy. Like
there's like a whole bunch of air in them, like with like a bag of chips.
Do they have? I've never purchased one. Do they have a whole bunch of air? Is there like a lot of void?
Not a lot. No.
Well, they just they look strong, for lack of a better phrase. Like
that's labeling.
You can go get if you go get a gallon of peanut, or if you get that big ass thing of cheese balls.
Oh,
it's just in that cheesy plastic,
in
it's like thin plastic or whatever.
Oh.
But your protein powders, it looks like you could probably build a good fort out of them. Like you're not gonna block bullets, but they're thick. They look stout.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand that. That doesn't. I mean, you have to appeal to the market, but
I've attempted
it's ridiculous
to make a dent in those cheese balls, and I've gotten nowhere.
No.
Because my cousin had one once. I don't know why. He's a healthy lad. He has 3 kids.
Because they're fucking amazing.
Like he has no reason to have a white thing of cheese balls. And I was just like, I was just eating. I was like, these are really good. And you've seen how fast I eat.
Oh, they'll fuck the top of your mouth up real quick though.
True, but I'm eating them away, and I'm not noticing. I'm chatting. I'm drinking water too. So it's like,
well, you clean your palate.
Do about 4 and then water, and it all kind of like it all just mushes, and you can just swallow. And all of a sudden I look, and it doesn't look like I've even taken any.
Nope.
Yeah. So zombie apocalypse. I'm stocking up on my cheese balls, and
oh, when they get stale, I got a cousin. She loves stale puffed Cheetos. I'd say they're not bad.
Get rid of that cousin.
For the no, she's solid cousin. Solid cousin.
Solid stale puffed Cheetos cousin.
They get old after a while. Like maybe if you get a fun bag, fun bag size.
On this, we should do a survival guide episode.
We can. I mean, that's why I want to get together with Jeff, is because we used to do shit like in the kitchen. We would spend all day when we weren't busy. Like this is how we made it through the day.
I'm sure Jeff.
We put together zombie apocalypse teams.
First listeners, and he'll hear this and he'll be like, "Fuck yeah, I want to do that."
Yeah, and then we would just go through we would do within like 10 feet.
When you hear this, Jeff,
what's your weapon of choice?
Yeah,
and if we're by the grill, it's like, well, what are we gonna do? But yeah, so on the well, are you happy with your membership? How long have you been going so far? Couple days?
It is Friday, and I started Monday.
You happy with it?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm happy to be back in the gym. It's nice. I'm a little sore because I haven't worked out in a while, but no, it's a nice gym. I give it a little time until I drop down. Maybe I'll indulge it for a couple of months, and then I'll just drop down.
And you're doing what, every other day?
Well, today I've been doing it, as in like this week I did it Monday to Friday, kind of shocked the system.
Oh, wow.
Back to kind of get it going. I might take tomorrow and Sunday off. I tend to usually take Sundays off unless I skipped other days, but
it's the Sabbath.
Yeah. Why not? Because I work Sunday and I'm usually tired by the end of it, and then I like to go out and get a beer. I just kind of work out for the sake of my lifestyle, not to I'm not trying to get jacked. I'm like, but I'm aware that I eat and drink shit. I kind of want to be okay with myself for doing that.
See, and that's the thing, like getting jacked, like that's. I've always thought like, oh, it'd be cool to have muscles or whatever, like end up at the beach and just like, hey, look at me, I'm in shape. But like the maintenance with that, is just ridiculous. Like
a friend of mine has a friend who is just a Greek god, and my buddy was like, watching him, and he had to work out what he had to eat all day, and this and that and that.
fuck
Like
that.
so much. And then he just asked him, if you could. You like, because you're working out what you have to eat, the amount of carbs, the amount of protein. If you could just not eat anything all day, and I just gave you one pill that did everything, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'd just do that.
Oh, you goddamn right.
I hate the maintenance. If you had one pill that gave me all my calories and all my protein and all that, yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, and it seems like, well, I guess with anything, like, there's a handful of shit that you don't like, but it weighs out. I mean, yeah, you're healthy, all that stuff, but just like anything. So if you're a musician,
a midget.
I always go for, don't go for midget, but I always go for magician.
Magician.
Yeah, always. And I'm just like, one of these days I'm just gonna start saying magician.
One day there might be a musical magician.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah.
But anything, you do the musician or a magician, or working out or whatever. I think all hobbies, if you boil it down, almost cost the same if you do them will cost the same amount of time and cost the same amount of money if you do them that much. Like, I've always noticed it with like guitars versus drums. Yeah. So playing the drums, like my drum set costs a lot to get started, to get a decent one and get started. But the guitar, you can get started for a lot less, but there's a lot more upkeep with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, drum hardware is always, like, you want different sounds, so you're going to buy more expensive things. Guitars, a lot of your guitarists have multiple guitars, have multiple amps, all this shit. Like, drummers, like, you might have a practice kit and a stage kit.
So it takes a lot of tools to be good at something. Yeah.
So, but I think guitars versus drums evens out once you get to that, like, on stage level.
There's a saying that I kind of agree with. It's not a saying, but it's known that it takes. I just looked it up there. It takes 10,000 hours to master something.
Yeah. I don't know if I've been on and off playing the drums for 15 years.
Yeah.
Sure, I've got 10,000 hours, but like 10,000 hours over a lifetime is just a horseshit thing. Like, you have to smash it within like 5 years.
Yeah.
But and that's what kills me is, like, I have all these little hobbies, and I am not a master at any of them.
Yeah, you're a jack of all trades, Rob.
Master of none.
Yeah, but you like, I come to you with like, hey, do you know anything about washing machine maintenance? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry, I'll be over now. How's the blah 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 look? I'm like, oh, it's a little wet. Oh no, it can't be wet. I'll fix it.
It's just like when I have people come over, technicians come over to do the cable, to do the washing machine, anything.
Do you just shadow them the whole time?
I do, the whole fucking time. What's that right there? Well, how does this do this? Oh, well, I've done this.
Oh, I bet they love that.
I don't give a fuck. They're getting paid for it. And if I got a couple questions, the way that I look at it is,
would you appreciate that if you were doing it?
If they wanted knowledge on it, sure. But if they're telling me I'm doing my job wrong, no.
All right.
Because when I shadow these people, it's like, oh, what's that right there? Oh, is this a common issue? Yeah. Oh, so this connects to, like, with the cable guy. Like, oh, does this connect to the pole? Well, would an easy workaround be to plug this in and then run off? Is it possible to tee off of this? And the questions that I ask, they may get annoying because I'll chatter at people. But the way that I see it is, I'm gaining information. Yeah. So I don't have to call your ass next time.
Okay.
Now, if I want it at a discounted price and I don't want to go pay for all the equipment because, I don't have the specific cable splicers, all this shit. I have what I need to get by. Yeah. But I don't have what I need to fucking wire a whole house. So if the cost of calling you out is going to be cheaper and more efficient than me going out and getting everything, I'm gonna fucking call you.
Yeah.
But if I've just got an issue, guess what? I'm just gonna take care of it. I don't want to wait for you. I don't want to schedule a fucking appointment. I don't want you treading your shit all over my house.
On the opposite side, I am an unhandy person, and I'll call anyone I can. I'll call you.
Right. But that's the thing. I watch these people like, oh, yeah, this just happened last week, just happened last year. I know what to do. Like, when you moved in, you didn't know where the fucking cable was? Fine. I got it. Now, found the cable, went to Home Depot, knew the parts that I needed to get, knew what I can get away with because I should have bought a crimper, but I'm not paying $45 for a fucking crimper to use it once.
Straight crimping, yeah.
Yeah. So got the connections, hooked you up, had your internet up and going within 45 minutes, including the trip and all that shit.
It was a scary 45 minutes.
Well, that's just because Connor didn't know how to take a goddamn picture of a light bulb. Which, fix your light bulb in the same fail swoop.
True. So, Rob, what's this episode about?
So after that rant, I wish I had a timer on this that tells us how long. I meant to do it on the phone, but we're going to go with the flat earth. So we're going to check this out. Do you have any knowledge on this flat earth?
See, that's the thing. You mentioned this after we were recording last week, and I said to myself, oh, flat earth, that's fine. I'll just read a bunch of shit on it. It's like flat earth, yeah, like there has to be loads of debunked stuff, blah 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 blah, you know, like sure, it'll be grand. And I'm actually because I'd spend last night watching Street Fighter 2, which we'll do in a later episode, but I woke up today thinking, crap, I got nothing. I am genuinely concerned and worried because I have nothing on flat earth. I have some information, but you look
try to
super
clam
prepared.
You try to cram. No, I have a very shoddy page of notes, but it's memory-esque. You try to cram flat earth into an hour and a half this morning. Probably less.
While reading
but I
Buffy
told
the
you
Vampire season 8 series
Jesus
on
Christ.
comics.
They're on season 8 in the comic books?
Yeah, there's only 7 season TV show, and then there's season 8 till 11 of comics.
Continuation.
It's a continuation. It's
well
pretty
played.
good.
The movie was better. We'll do that one later.
Ooh.
We'll put that on a later watch.
I disagree on better, but I do believe it is good.
Yeah. So, but I told you last week that flat earth is a bunch of shit. I told you that there's massive amounts of 3-hour-long documentaries on the YouTube.
Did you not say that you're balanced? You know, you believe both equally? Did you not say that to me?
I do.
Don't mean to call you out on air.
No. It's I don't put all my faith in the flat earth or the globe. I mean, before any of this, because the guy at work got me started on it, like, hey, look at this. This is all fucked up and fake.
What, the globe or flat earth?
The globe, but he's all like Illuminati and all this shit, which I don't know.
I think we'll do a 3-hour-long special on the Illuminati.
We could, but I don't know shit about it.
Exactly.
I mean, I probably couldn't cram it into a fucking 45-minute morning.
Yeah. Fuck
off. But no, like it holds a lot of.
What is the flat Earth theory? Obviously, the Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat, and it's just that we've been lied to about the globe Earth, and it's just a more convenient way or easier way to process everything, because there's some things that have been said that for some reason people feel more secure knowing that we're just this round floating thing in space that's traveling 43,000 miles an hour or whatever the fuck it is. But the flat Earth theory is kind of just saying that all of that is horseshit.
Yes.
Like space, everything, like the Earth or the sun is closer than it should be.
It isn't, Rob?
Well, a lot of things that the documentaries that I've been listening to or going over, it's a lot of people not so much trying to prove the flat Earth theory, but to prove the globe Earth. With
my limited research, one of the points that I saw was that flat Earth theorists are very kind of like, well, it's not my job to prove the Earth is flat. It's your job to prove the Earth is round.
Right.
Which can be done because,
Well, you're saying
scientific method.
It can be done?
It can be done. Scientific method. I can think of one right off the top of my head right now.
What is that?
So, if the Earth was flat, we could theoretically see China. with a super microscope. Sorry, telescope with a super microscope. With we could just with the telescopes that we use to look out into space, we could just point it sideways and see China. The fact that we can't do that shows that there's a curve in the Earth.
Why can't we do it?
Because we can't.
Have we just not done it? Because
are you saying that in the year of our Lord 2016, no one has ever turned a telescope sideways?
No one, you or I know.
Well,
because here's the thing.
You sound like a flat Earth theorist.
Well, because this was covered. If you would have done enough research, this was covered. That okay? So the highest point on this planet is what? Mount Everest.
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay, so why can't we just look at any point and see it? Well, you have your visibility levels, you have pollution, you have all this shit that's in the way. So it doesn't matter. Like the reason why you can, I guess it would be theoretically if I was a flat earthist or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the reason why you can see into space is because you're only penetrating a small amount of the pollution and the atmosphere before you get into whatever, like, utter clarity. So if you're trying to go, what is it? It's, 10 miles, 20 miles until you reach space or whatever?
That's all?
No, I don't know.
20 miles?
I think plane flies at 10 miles.
How many miles is
I don't fucking know. It's probably way more.
Here?
My numbers are probably way off.
How many miles till Disneyland from here?
How many miles till Disneyland? It's 100 and something.
It's 100 and something.
It's like 150 miles, I think.
150. So that's like 6 trips to space and back. 3 trips to space.
Oh, well, maybe
and back.
I'm missing a bunch of zeros. So
okay.
what did I say? Just 10 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no,
anyways, you can say so. You only have to please, like, so you have like whatever this small layer of shit that you have to get through before you get into the atmosphere or whatever. But if you're trying to go thousands of miles across all this shit, then sure, your clarity is going to be over the ocean, but you have so much in between that's just all pollution. But if you look, like, you can see the island of whatever, one of the Hawaiian islands, from a huge distance away. And if there's a curvature to the Earth, then that should not be visible at all. So if you look however far, or with the naked eye, if you know that there's a boat sitting in the middle of the ocean, and you can't see it because apparently that it's hidden by the curvature of the Earth. But if you get a high quality telephoto lens or whatever the fuck it is, and zoom in on it, you can see the hull of the boat. You can see it floating in the ocean. It's just the fact that our eyes can't see that far.
Now, what about... So are you saying... Sorry, silence there for a sec, because I had to just gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
So let's say the sun rises.
Okay.
Let's say there's a plane that follows, like there has been. I have no source on this, but I'm sure there has been a plane that follows the daylight from traveling from A to B. So let's say it leaves point A and arrives in point B, and by the time it leaves A, it is night in point B, but by the time it gets there, the sun's going to follow it over the curvature. So that means... I don't know why I'm arguing this.
Well, no, I mean...
So basically, if you're at point B looking over the horizon, the sun and the plane will rise... It almost will look like it's coming out of the ocean because of the curvature, not just all of a sudden be through the pollution and the atmosphere.
Now,
all of a sudden become visible.
Well, here's where a lot of the shit falls off for me.
Got it.
Is that I've looked... The things that I've paid attention to is more or less pertaining to the functionality of the planet, of Earth, I guess. Not so much the functionality and the incorporation of space, if that makes sense. So as far as why the moon does, how come the sun, where does this actually lie, the stars, all that shit. I know little about that because that stuff kind of goes over my head, and I haven't like a lot of the documentaries or whatever only focus on like land in a sense, or what's encompassed inside this dome, bunny ears, which I don't buy the whole dome idea because that's just too intense of a process. Like to build a dome that's that large, like a physical fucking cap, which some people say, oh, it's got to be a dome. That shit doesn't fuck that. It's ridiculous. But there, from what I can remember, like it's more or less like there's some shit that says like, how come the stars are always in this place? How come I can see the Little Dipper here and Egypt can see the Little Dipper as well? Like that doesn't necessarily make sense if we're rotating. I'm probably poorly repeating this, but something about like if the Earth is spinning, if we're spinning and orbiting, there's no fucking reason why I should be able to see the dippers every fucking day, every night. Because if we're traveling in an orbit and rotating, the Little Dipper's here. Tomorrow I'm going to be here because it takes 360 days to get around and get back to point A in orbit, right?
Absolutely.
So why the fuck can I see the Little Dipper on day 20? Because I should be so far removed.
Yeah.
And then especially on day 100. You know, like there's no way the Little Dipper. So you're telling me that space is also spinning and orbiting at the same fucking time?
Oh.
So you're telling me that the Milky Way, all the planets, Earth, the sun, all that shit are consistently orbiting, rotating, moving at the exact same time, nonstop. So I can see everything at the same every fucking night. That part confuses me. I don't know how to explain it. It holds just as much water as saying that's how it works. There are methods there to prove it, which you'll hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me the method. Where's the math? Like from what I've gathered, there's more math that explains this, the flat Earth theory, than explains the globe Earth. Because a lot of the globe Earth shit seems, well, that's just what it is.
Well, from my looking up of the math for the flat Earth theory, that's tried to debunking the globe Earth, is that the math they use is that they're using they assume the Earth is a perfect sphere, which it's not. So the math they use right there and then is automatically wrong.
Are you talking like the technicalities
circumference of a sphere?
Okay, you're talking about because of the way it orbits and expands, so it's...
Yeah, well, also because of the ocean, tides moving,
yeah. But
erosion.
You're just saying there turns in from being a sphere to like an oval and then back because it breathes, in a sense?
In a sense.
Right, but that's so, like... That doesn't take it from a 0 degree tilt or a 0 degree fucking, like a perfect zero down to a fucking, an egg and then back. Like, there's no way that it can expand that much.
Let me read something from Wikipedia here just to kind of give a more idea on flat Earth societies. Flat Earth societies that are based on belief that the Earth is flat. Modern flat Earth hypothesis originated from English writer Samuel Rowbotham, based on the conclusion delivered from blah blah blah. He published a book.
What year?
Oh gosh, does not say. With Wikipedia, you're failing me. So proposing that the Earth is flat and center at it is the North Pole, and based around the southern edge is a wall of ice. The Antarctica Antarctica the South Pole
Mm-hmm.
is, so to picture it, is imagine the globe, you know, like the globe everyone has in their living room, and then peel it off from the bottom up. So it's like it's a
petri dish.
Yeah, but from the bottom up, so that the South Pole has now been separated and is now the crust on a pizza.
Right.
So that's what they're saying is happening, just so we don't fall off. Is the outer layer.
Okay.
With the sun and the moon 3,000 miles and the cosmos 3,100 miles above the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So that I understand. Okay, so modern day flat earthers have actually just come into light in the last couple of, because once it was, so yeah, we used to believe the earth was flat.
Mm-hmm.
We were proved wrong like then, and then I feel like it was at peace. No one really cared for a while, and then it kind of came back. Modern flat earthers came back probably in the last like couple of decades ago, I'd say. I could be wrong, but.
Right. Well, you got the first. What was I watching? They were talking about the Wikipedia page for the USGN, I believe it is. I can't recall. I didn't write that down. But they're in charge. There's over 9,000 employees that are in charge of making these maps.
Yeah.
Now, so the United Nations flag is made up of an original, I believe it's 1907, flat Earth drawing. And that one is credited and accounted for. Now, it's called something else. So you can't do the wiki links or like bounce link to link, whatever. I can't remember what that's called. But you can't follow that rabbit trail to that image because it's not considered flat Earth. It's something different.
It's considered with the United Nations.
Yeah, with the United Nations and with the people who make these maps, which they submit. Matt, like, have you seen the one that just looks like 4 eggs? Like, instead of having a globe, like they kind of spread it out. But in order to spread out a circle, you need spaces. Or there's triangular like layouts and all this other shit. There's all these different kind of maps. But the one that stuck around is, I believe, from 1907, and it is the same one that's on the United Nations flag, which is also, there's also a handful of other places that it's on. But it's considered something else. So another thing that I was listening that made sense was the idea of flat Earth immediately throws people off because you think that there's an edge that you're just going to fall off of. It's not so much a flat Earth as much as saying that it's just a planed Earth. So you're thinking of, which I would think the same thing, is so a globe Earth, you can continuously travel around and around.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but if you think of a planed Earth, it seems to immediately change your perspective.
Well, what does that look like?
It's the exact fucking same thing. It's just a different word. Because if you think of a plane, so let's say that the United States makes up the entire globe. It's round.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, because if you travel, apparently you can go from California to Florida just walking. But California's on one side of the Earth, of this theoretical Earth, and Florida's on the opposite side.
Okay.
So, but it's just take that, so that would be a globed United States. The planed United States is what we have now, to where it's just across. So if you continue to go, you'll pass Florida, you'll pass, and you won't necessarily end up back at California. You'll just continuously go until you hit a wall. Not an edge, not something to fall off of, but a wall. Now, what's beyond this, I just recently saw that beyond this Arctic Circle is more continents. And there's a person, Admiral Richard Byrd, said that he saw all this, and he's highly decorated. I believe his first Antarctic expedition was late 1920s or early 30s, And he had done multiple explorations to this and apparently made it to this Arctic wall, which is supposedly rich in all minerals, uranium, coal, all this shit, all resources. Millions of dollars to be made, trillions of dollars to be made. And his last trek made it to the wall. There's hundreds of miles of just Arctic fucking shit out there. But then he said he saw a continent, an unexplored continent that is larger than, I believe, North America or the United States itself. So I've seen one map of this. And
has anyone else been there?
No, it's undiscovered. You're not going to trek all the way through. But there's also something, and this is why I told you to, like, this is a lot of shit to get into. It's not just a let me watch an hour, or 2 hours, even 3 hours. Like, it's not enough because you have the Antarctic Defense Treaty. Did you get into any of that? Did you read or did you watch anything?
I did both.
Okay.
But not that much.
There's a defense treaty that once this was found, there's over 50 countries that have signed this treaty.
Okay.
Nobody does anything. Nobody mines on it. Nobody tries to get any resources off of it. Nobody's allowed to travel to it. No one's allowed to the wall.
To Antarctica.
Yeah, to the Antarctic wall. You can't.
This theoretic wall that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. According to this is the border.
Okay.
So, to go real quick back to flat Earth, like, you wouldn't fall off of anything. You would just reach this wall.
But they're still saying you could fall off eventually after you hit the wall and then continue on to these unexplored continents.
As far as I know, not touched on. Because we don't know. Because maybe encompassed in this whole thing, maybe it is a globe. Who knows? Maybe it's a larger globe than we think of. Who knows? But past that wall, apparently there's continents. Many of them. But there's no information on it. The theory is there. So that's what they're saying. So it would make sense to have a planed Earth, what we know, if we ended up all on a globe. On a globe on a larger scale. Now, how space works how suns, moons, all this shit works, I don't know.
Well, where do you stand? Well, with, but where do you stand on, like, are you saying that all photographs of the Earth have been photoshopped?
Yeah, that's documented that it's documented that all of the photos of the Earth have been documented or have been photoshopped, and there's only actually one or two photos of the Earth, but everything else has been doctored. The person who doctors them gave an interview on it, saying, like, well, yeah, it's photoshopped. Because if you think about it, if you were to take a picture of the Earth and just, here's a fucking picture, look at all the clarity that's in the photograph.
I believe that a photo of the Earth would be photoshopped to look nicer because clouds, everything, so they can kind of see where everything is. But I doubt there's only out of all the hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been to space by now, are all on this huge worldwide government theory hiding this.
Well,
that's too intricate.
When it gets that far, it does become intricate.
You're talking about how there's these people, like this general has been like, oh yeah, I saw that. You don't think there'd be this one guy who's like, no, they tried to talk to us about that, but that's all bullshit.
Now,
I actually saw a round Earth and I didn't see no wall.
Well, here's a couple things, and this is why I tell you, this takes time to look into, to have, because all of these things are touched on, all of them. That they're saying that since we've been going to space, there's never been a 180-degree shot. Somebody with a camera going 180 degrees. Which, why not? Fuck, I get a new camera phone, I'm doing 180, and I hate taking pictures. I don't like taking them. I take very few of them, but I've definitely taken a 180-degree shot.
How do you know that there's never been one?
Because there's none released. Why wouldn't we release it? We've never gone from a shot of the, like, standing on the moon, a shot of the Earth, and then panned all the way around back to the moon. We're either looking at the moon or we're looking at Earth. Not only has there not been 180, there, of course, has not been a 360 degree. Why the fuck not? That makes a lot of sense to me. Like, how come we haven't fucking done it? Also, while they were covering all this, they went into movies being made. There's no movies made about a fully fictional trip to the moon. The closest one is Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, they were saying, and again, I'm going to butcher a bunch of shit because I just watched it the one time, that all of these are just fictitious things based off of numbers and facts that we've come up with. What's it called? One of my favorite-ish movies that were made, the fucking Gravity, like space movie, like, it's all fictional. It's all this, it's all that. And what they're saying, and it's a weird thing about these conspiracies is it all seems like a huge stretch. And it's hard for me to be like, or for me, it's like a lot of in the middle 50-50 shit, because they're saying that if we ever made a movie documenting, like going off of documented facts, we're going to make the moon and everything, the moon or Mars and all this shit, look just as good as when we went there. Which there's not going to be like it's going to break the realism factor.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to say it. So, like, when we go videotape New York or whatever, when we do a scene in New York, like, we know that's New York. We've seen it. I've seen it in person. It's a little bit clearer because it's all dressed up. But if we did it at the moon, especially right after we went to the moon, it's going to be of same quality. It's going to be far easier to be like, oh, wait, we can capture it that good, and it looks the same as when we went there. Like, why should I believe it? You know, and I'm not one of the people who say, oh, the moon landing was fake. I don't fucking know. I have no fucking clue. I don't know what space looks like. I have no desire to go there. Whatever. NASA says we've been there.
You know desire to go to space?
For fucking what?
For
For what?
To boldly go where no man.
Yeah, well, apparently we fucking sent a whole shitload of people up there.
Yeah.
Like, no. I want to see some pictures.
Massive
don't fucking care.
To debunk any conspiracy
don't
you
care.
might have.
I don't need to spend a couple months trying to get somewhere that has nothing.
I would just love if you spend a couple of months like training in NASA, and I just got a text of you saying, haha, knew it. And then, like, that's it. That's all I heard from you.
It's just fucking, I don't know. It's just
Where do you stand on Gravity, since you mentioned? Because Gravity is...
The movie? It's a great movie.
No. Well, yeah, it is. Oh.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great fucking movie.
We'll
Not,
watch that soon.
Not sci-fi, but the way how we're taught about space and everything. Like, it looks great. I love the destruction of shit where there's no sound. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, because there's no sound in space.
Right, and I think that's great that they captured
nobody
that.
can hear your scream. So the definition of gravity is the force that pulls the body towards the center of the Earth.
Okay.
Now, if we're at a flat Earth or a, how did you put it, planed?
A planed Earth, yeah.
Planed Earth. How are we getting pulled in?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay, cool. And then what about the?
I did like all these numbers. All this like this.
What about the lunar eclipse?
The lunar eclipse.
There was
something said on that.
Sure, something went over that.
And I can't recall. Like, it's
okay, cool.
It's
next
the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
If we were in this spherical thing, it's the same as seeing the stars all the time. Like, there's no way for it to consistently do that. There's no way for it to consistently be only 6 or 8 phases, whatever we have, nonstop. And they were saying something about the alleged distance from the moon and distance from the sun, the way that the eclipses work. They shouldn't work that way because the distance apart. They were also saying something about the way that the sun rays shine in, about how if it was really that far, there would be no way that it would be angled.
So the way the lunar eclipse works is that the Earth gets in the way of the sun for the moon, so the moon is darkened.
Right.
But the fact that it's perfectly darkened, like it's the moon is cut out by a perfect circle, or not perfect, since you're catching me on that, is cut out by a circle, that would say that the Earth is a sphere, because if it's flat, then it just, well, you can't see it on if it's flat, then it'll just be like holding up a coin, trying to do the same kind of thing with a lamp, trying to block out another coin while using a coin on its side. But it can't be done.
If the object was far enough away, the shadow that would be casted would be large enough.
But it would still never cover it fully.
If it was far enough away.
But it's only 3,000 miles away. That's probably not far enough. Probably not.
Probably not.
We are not the men who should be talking about this.
No, but I mean, it's just a discussion. Because, I mean, I watched some shit. I read some shit. You watched some shit. You read some shit. You have your ideas. And that's the thing about these conspiracies, is that these are my reasons. If I was an expert, I could tell you, oh, well, the fucking size of a coin, if you were to take a nickel because it's a little bit thicker and all this other shit, then sure, I could debunk your whatever, but I don't have that fucking knowledge.
Yeah.
So going in the simplistic form, so I should not be able to hold my hand up and block the sun on me. You know what I mean? But because it's far enough away, I can do it. And if I hold my hand far enough away, I can use my hand to cast a shadow from my head to the buckle of my belt.
Yeah.
Why? Like, my hand is fucking 20 times smaller than the rest of me. They shouldn't be able, but it's just the distance. So you can. But now, I don't know, because on the planed Earth, the moon doesn't go underneath the Earth. The sun doesn't go underneath it. It just revolves. So
the fact that it does,
it just revolves like this.
But it doesn't.
So if this is the Earth here,
how is there nighttime?
It goes here. How is there nighttime?
Yes, if it's like that, because
I don't fucking know.
But then that automatically debunks whatever theory you're about to tell me, with the sun going around like some kind of the Earth is a saucer.
Okay. So maybe it does fucking go underneath. Okay.
But you're automatically
disregard any of that, because now that you bring this up, I agree with you. Or I admit I don't know. No, I want to say that I saw something that says that it does like this, but you have you pose a good question. Looking back, I realize I never looked at any of that.
Got it.
So if it's a plain Earth, yes, I asked that question
I feel like
too.
When you look up conspiracy theories, you jump over the mild questions, and you get right. You go, like, if there's a 2-hour documentary on flat Earth, Rob would skip the first hour to get into the deep shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want to hear about this wall.
It just depends on which ones you watch. Like, I've watched ones that only talk about the flight paths, which the flight paths make a lot of sense to me. Well,
it would, because it's using. So I'm gonna say how I think it is, because the top. So in a flat Earth, the top of the Earth, the North Pole, is the center.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it would still go by the same theory as how we fly. The way we fly around the Earth,
mm-hmm.
we would still fly the same routes. Like that won't matter.
No, we don't fly the same routes.
Okay.
Because they're saying that the two furthest points apart are like in Chile or South America, and where are they? Rio de Janeiro, that's Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So South America and South Africa, those are very similar. And
so they're the two furthest
and Australia.
parts.
No. Those two and Australia. So if you try to book a flight,
you fly? So theoretically, you could do a straight line on a flat Earth and fly over the North Pole, and make it there in a faster time than it'll take you to get there.
The thing is there is no flight that goes. If you take anything in the southern hemisphere,
then we could.
No, if you try to book a flight,
mm-hmm.
okay, according to the Globe Earth, from what they're saying, according to the Globe Earth, It's 7,000 miles away from South Africa.
These 2 points.
And like Auckland or Auckland, is that Australia? No, I don't know. So Australia, whatever, Melbourne, whatever. So wherever in Australia. So these 2 points on the globe Earth is 7,000 miles away.
So
which
you're going
is
to Chile's to Outback.
Yeah, which is 12-hour flight time, roughly 12-hour flight time.
Yeah.
Your flight time will not be under 30 hours for that trip. Now, if you take it to a flat or a planed Earth, you're going over here. Now, if you look at your stop at anything in the southern equator does this for the most part. It routes you. So in order to get there, you have to go from Brazil to LA to Australia, and then you can jump over to New Zealand, right? Because Australia and New Zealand are right there. So yeah, so that's what it is. And if you look, did I take a picture of it? I could have swore I took a fucking screenshot of it to show you this. But
the thing is, that's you're just talking about the country's airport resources.
No. Why can't you fly over the ocean? Why?
You can. I do it every
Nobody
once a year.
fucking does it. You can't find a fucking... Well, we can, because going from here to...
I fly over the Atlantic every year.
Right, in the northern equator, the northern hemisphere, whatever it is. Okay. In this area, you can, because the points are close enough. What I'm saying is, if you take the 2 furthest points on the planed Earth...
Well, what about emergency reasons, like running out of fuel, all that? Better to be over land to land in the closest airport.
It's a 12-hour flight. You can get a non-stop 12-hour flight.
I know, but what about as I said, back to these countries' resources, the ones that have to fly over the earth, what if they don't have planes that can do 12-hour flights?
There's no flights that do it.
I think we're on two different pages here.
Because if you look at the planed Earth, it has nothing to do with going, because you can fly over the ocean. So why can we fly over the ocean here, but we can't do it here? We do these flights. We do the flights do go over the thing. So why not just use a fucking boat? Well,
because they'll hit the wall and you'll fall off the earth, or find a new continent.
See, now again,
and you'll be the second man to ever see it in the last.
But that's the thing, like
billion years the Earth's been alive.
That's it. You make a default bullshit thing like that, like fucking hit the wall, whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you is, with the flat Earth thing, like, this is how it goes. Now, if your defense point is just like, the fucking wall, we're gonna fall off. Like,
well, you said we're not gonna fall off. We're gonna hit a new continent.
No shit, but we're not going that far. Nobody, like, talking about these flight patterns. We're not talking about being anywhere near the wall.
If you're talking about, so you're basically saying, why has nobody done this flight? I'm basically saying, why has nobody gone to the wall?
Because if you would have done more research, you have the Antarctic Defense Treaty, to where you don't fucking do it.
It's dude, it's you got a science fiction novel here, like.
But this is it. You're talking about. See,
so
it holds more water to me, because I've spent 10 hours looking into it. You've spent 45 minutes, like, not. You researched the basis of it.
Even if I spent 10 hours getting into it, I'm not believing that there's a global treaty on defense of this wall to stop Joe Nobody going beyond it.
I'm not telling you I believe in it either.
I know, but I'm
telling you
stating I don't, because I haven't sat here and been
But that's it. But you're debating it like, there's no such thing. Well, I don't know if there's a such thing either. But to talk about it, you have to put it, just like if we're talking about vampires.
Yeah.
Like, anything that's going to be said is just like, well, fuck it doesn't exist. Oh, well, what? I'm just going to get my blood drank. Like, in order to talk about it, you have to be open-minded to this as a possibility.
Well, hey.
So but your answer is, well, there's no fucking treaty. Well, the reason why we don't go past it is because there is a treaty in rabbit ears.
arguing here because you're talking to me with the same Rob voice you sat and talked to me about your fucking glass blowing. There's a sound of passion in your voice. I could tell you've done your 10 hours of research, yes.
Right.
But I'm like, shit, is this boy...
But that's like, you're asking me why this can or cannot happen. Yeah. Why we can't, or why we do or do not do this. From the research that I've done, I'm trying to tell you why. And then it bothers me in a sense that your rebuttal is because I'm going to hit a wall. Now, a joke. Like, I see that aspect in it, but you're asking for the explanation. I'm trying to give you the explanation, and then it's just like, oh, well, this is all horseshit anyways. I don't believe in it, so I don't really want the explanation.
Oh my God. I just realized something. I'm the flat earthist in this argument because you're...
You wouldn't be the flat earthist.
No, because on my small studies, I learned that all the flat earthists are like, no, the earth is flat. Whatever you're saying is bullshit. I know what I believe. But in this, you've been firing facts at me, and I just been like, no, the earth is round. You're bullshit. Oh man.
See, and that's...
oh fuck.
See, and
I just blew myself wide open.
To me, it's like half the people that I've paid attention to are saying like they got into following this whole flat Earth thing because they're like, fuck this whole joke of flat Earth and da-da-da. Then it's like they go into it and they're like, well, those add up. That adds up. That adds up, but there's got to be a reason. And then they start diving deeper, like the flight patterns. Like, I'm sorry, to me the flight patterns make sense. I'm not saying because of the way that airlines go about their bullshit, they've just proven the planed Earth to me. But it makes sense.
So back to the 10,000 hours it takes to master something. Are you saying that if you spend, let's say, 10,000 hours, if you spend the next 5 years just doing a thesis on flat Earth, within the next 5-6 years you'll be a full-on flat earther, would you say?
I wouldn't know that.
How far are you?
Well, because with that, like,
how far are you from a belief?
From a belief?
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 because...
Oh, you're 50. You said at the start you weren't.
I told you on all this shit I'm 50-50.
No,
and the
you
reason
said at the start that you said it was BS.
I'm 50-50 for these reasons.
If I'm wrong, actually, wait. If you could, in editing, play the clip of whatever you said now.
Right.
And then wait, and we're back. And if I was wrong about what you said, I'll take it back, and you can.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'll punch you in. Well, we'll re-punch back in, and you can say sorry on a second clip. But no, like I've always maintained that I'm 50-50-ish about all of it because being brought up, just like anybody else, it was all globe Earth shit. I heard flat Earth was fuck all this. This is all horse shit. Fuck you. We're gonna fall off. Da da da. Watching all these documentaries, listening to the fucking podcast, researching, reading, blah 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 blah. There's a handful of shit that makes a bunch of sense. Now the thing, once we get to the Arctic wall, past it, or above the rim of whatever, the dome or the atmosphere, it's not that I lose interest, but I lose faith because I don't fucking know.
What do flat earthers believe? Like, do they believe there's something after the sun?
Again, all that I haven't gotten past.
Like, do you know if are flat earthers only like planet Earth and the moon and the sun?
No idea. I have not made it that far.
And well, when you do, let me know.
Back to going to the 10,000 hours, figuring it out. I think there's more involved to it because I would need to know. I would need to then study and learn
10,000 hours is a while.
Well, to study on flat Earth.
Yeah.
But in order to get everything else, like I would then need to know flight patterns. Like I would need to know a fair amount about that.
That's a full chapter right there.
I would then need to know all these different algorithms and how to learn how to do all this complex math and all these equations, these theories, the shit of relativity. I'd have to learn Einstein and all these other people. I would have to do a handful of research on this. There's a lot encompassed. Now, if I'm going to play the drums, then I need to learn everything having to do with the drum. Actually, I don't even need to know shit about hardware. I don't need to know shit about how the shell's made. I don't need to know any of that. or very, very little of that. I just need to know how to play patterns, how to separate my limbs to do these certain patterns, and to do all this other shit, just to be able to play those noises on the drums.
Well, to play, like, I play bass guitar, and I need to know musical theory on what sounds good, but I also need to let my fingers know how to play.
But you don't need to study the trees and the living environment that they need to grow in order for you to get that body, and in order to mesh ash wood and a fucking maple neck and body together, what those trees need to grow and to live. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, you can know, like, oh, well, a maple body is more dense and it does this. Well, if I use an ash wood, then it's a little more light. Like, those are basics. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to know the basics behind it. You don't need to know where it grows, what temperature it thrives in, how old it needs to be to fucking harvest it and make a neck out of it. You don't need to know that. Now, with the flat earth and shit, because there's so much involved, in order to be like, oh, well, you know what, the algorithm for the sun rays hitting here and with the dome or with the earth being at such a degree curvature, I would need to semi-learn that, a good majority of it.
Yeah.
In order to be like, look, this is what happens with the rays. This is why the stars do this. This is why they don't do this. This is why the tides of the ocean do this. Like, I would need to know all that.
And I do not have the answers for you.
I have no fucking answers.
We should wrap this one up soon.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
With all of it, I'm just saying it's very interesting to learn about. I would say if you have the time, look more into it.
My conclusion, my final thoughts is I am a Earth is round enthusiast. Mm-hmm. I never thought I would ever have to say that in my life, because it's one of those things I never thought about. It's one of those things, you're right, I was told it. I believe it. I'm a scientific guy. If the facts are in front of me on the Earth is flat, which you're right, maybe that's why I told at the start of this episode I was scared, because I didn't have enough information coming in here. Because as I said, I'm a scientific guy. If someone gives me evidence on something, I'll look at it, I'll believe it. Seeing is believing, and maybe I've been brainwashed by the government because I saw all these photos of the Earth that have been photoshopped and they're not real. They're all just showing me what we want. We need to see. It's a good theory. You got a couple of good points. You don't have all the answers, but who does? I'd say I'm, if anything, somewhat swayed to look more into it, but not on a belief level, as a just general interest level. I wouldn't say I'm stuck on the 50-50 level you are, but hey, that's 100% you. Everyone has their own beliefs. Right. Sorry if I belittled it a little bit.
No, I don't see you belittling it. Like, again, you are strongly with the Earth is round. That's fine. It makes sense. A lot of that shit, I can't throw facts at you like, oh yeah, you know, I just haven't done the fucking research. To tell you, oh, well, this is why it's round. This is why we orbit. All this shit.
Oh, we should get an email so we can be like, if you have any more of these facts,
we'll get an email, and then we'll figure as soon as we get solidified on the name, then we can go ahead. Like,
good point.
But yeah, with it going,
I'm gonna
like,
call this episode Rob Brand.
Shit, probably. With the things that make sense to me is where you'll hear me like seem whatever angry or whatever. It's not that I'm angry. It's just this shit makes sense. Those parts make sense to me. But the other shit you asking about the sun, it rotating, like, sure, I'll come off with a passion, but then it's like reel it back in because I don't really fucking know.
Yeah.
And if I don't fucking know, I'll speculate, and I can't speak with passion because I don't fucking know it. But when we close this off, I do want to spend 5 minutes just to show you the flight patterns, just because it's interesting.
Okay.
to help better explain whatever.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm 50-50 with it. Like, there's shit that makes sense about this. There's shit that makes sense about the round Earth. I'm interested in space itself. I don't know how that plays in with being a full-blown fucking flat Earth guy. That's why 50-50.
Just be your own guy.
That's it. I'm I don't know.
What's going to be our next conspiracy theory?
Next conspiracy. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of shit out there.
What else are you 50-50 on?
I don't know what else I'm 50-50 on.
No, you don't.
I do remember one of the very first web pages I ever looked at was saying that Mr. Rogers was involved in the JFK shooting. Not 50-50 there, but it's a hell of an idea. He was a Marine.
Oh, wow, yeah. Fair
Had some tattoos.
I didn't know he was a Marine, but that...
He was military of some sort.
By people saying he was a Marine, is that evidence?
I don't know if it's evidence, but...
he was a Marine, though.
I think we're
involved in JFK.
I think where it loses...
I don't know.
I think we're
11/23/88? No.
where it loses... whatever... can't think of the word.
James Franco, 11/23/63.
Oh, I haven't watched that.
I watched that. It's pretty good. It's typical time travel.
Was Rogers in it?
He could have been.
Could have been. It's hidden.
Could have been.
In a ghillie suit.
Typical time travel. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1. After he stops the assassination, he goes back to his normal time. That's a wasted apocalypse. So he goes back and lets it happen. You know, it's one of those.
Where he stops it and then goes back in the future where it doesn't stop.
He stopped it in the last episode. He spends because he's when he goes back in time, he can only go back to one fixed point in time.
Right.
And it's 2 years before or 3 years or something. So he has a whole bunch of, setup and research and the whole thing with the series is that time's trying to stop him from because he shouldn't be there and then time tries to stop him. So which was actually kind of cool, using time as like a character in a way that he's driving to stop the assassin, like to stop that and traffic, and he's like, oh, traffic, like why there shouldn't be any traffic on this road. Oh, we closed down the side streets for some reason, so everyone's coming through here.
Jesus.
He's like, oh, time, you sick
inconvenience.
Sick bandit. And then when he's gonna do something important, his girlfriend that he fell in love with got like
mumps.
So she got sick, so he had to go take care of her instead. But that's time being another.
He's not a good time traveler. You don't let sickness get in the way.
Because there was someone who, because as I said, he went back. So this portal in time that was in this diner, yes, the guy who used it before, he gave him all these rules: don't fall in love, don't do this, because this is how time's gonna get you. And then he ended up getting cancer and dying because he went back in time so much to try to change it, and then time gave him cancer. Duh.
Time will give you cancer.
Time will give you cancer,
I guess. All right. So until the next conspiracy. We'll see.
Fuck that, Rob Brand.
Should have done your research.
Fuck that.
Told you it wasn't a fucking
walk in the park.
Nope.
Yeah, I felt like I just did like a high school exam or something.
All right.
Oh, well, what are we clocking that one in at?
I don't fucking know. I told you I don't have the fucking timer. It's less than last week.
What was last week?